At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the idea of authenticity, the imperative to break free from the constraints of conventional morality, societal expectations, and external authorities in order to discover and actualize one's true self. For Nietzsche, the process of self-discovery is not passive or static. It is an active, lifelong project of self-creation. Rather than accepting predetermined roles or identities, individuals must continuously reinvent themselves through a process of self-overcoming. Nietzsche argued that modern society often stifles individuality through its reliance on herd mentality. In works such as Thus Spoke Zarathustra, he presents the figure of the Übermensch, a superior individual who creates his own values and lives beyond the conventional constraints of good and evil. The Übermensch is not merely an ideal but a call to each person to cast off the shackles of societal norms and embrace a path of radical self-affirmation. To become who you really are, Nietzsche suggests, one must reject the complacency of the masses and dare to think, feel, and act independently. This rejection of conformity is not an act of isolation but a courageous embrace of one's inner uniqueness. Central to Nietzsche's notion of authenticity is the idea of self-overcoming. This concept posits that individuals must continuously strive to surpass their previous limitations and recreate themselves in the face of adversity. Self-overcoming involves a rigorous examination of one's beliefs, habits, and desires, questioning those inherited from society, family, and tradition, and cultivating a personal vision that is true to one's inner essence. Nietzsche saw life as a dynamic struggle, a process in which one's greatest achievements are born out of conflict and tension. By embracing this struggle, individuals transform challenges into opportunities for growth and self-enhancement. Nietzsche famously proclaimed that what does not kill me makes me stronger. Suffering, in his view, is an inevitable and even necessary aspect of the human condition. Rather than avoiding pain or seeking comfort at all costs, one must learn to harness suffering as a catalyst for transformation. The process of becoming who you really are involves confronting the darker aspects of life, loss, failure, and existential angst, and transmuting them into sources of inner strength. Suffering thus becomes a crucible in which the individual's character is forged, paving the way toward authenticity and self-realization. The will to power, a driving force for self-realization. One of Nietzsche's most influential and controversial ideas is the will to power. Far from being a mere quest for domination over others, the will to power is an expression of life's inherent drive to assert itself, to grow, and to overcome obstacles. It is the fundamental force that compels all living beings to strive for excellence and expansion, manifesting both in individual ambition and in the creative forces of nature. For Nietzsche, the will to power is the intrinsic impulse that drives individuals to transcend mediocrity and assert their individuality. It is the force that propels one to challenge the status quo, innovate, and create. Rather than seeking power in a traditional sense, such as political or economic control, the will to power is about harnessing one's inner strength and potential to reshape oneself and one's world. It is a deeply personal force, one that demands courage, resilience, and the willingness to confront one's limitations head-on. When an individual embraces the will to power, they become actively involved in their own transformation. This involves a radical reevaluation of values and beliefs, shedding those that no longer serve their highest purpose and embracing a new, self-determined set of ideals. Through the will to power, the individual finds the energy to break free from the constraints imposed by tradition and societal expectations, thereby enabling the creation of a truly unique identity. In this way, the will to power is not merely about external achievement, but about the inner process of becoming who you really are. Nietzsche saw the will to power as the driving force behind art, innovation, and human creativity. Great works of art, literature, and philosophy emerge from individuals who have harnessed this inner drive, channeling their passions into expressions of their unique vision. In embracing the will to power, the seer or authentic individual taps into an inexhaustible source of creativity, a resource that fuels personal growth and contributes to the cultural and intellectual evolution of society. The eternal recurrence. Another central tenet of Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of the eternal recurrence. This idea posits that all events in life, every joy, sorrow, triumph, and tragedy, will be repeated infinitely in exactly the same way. While the concept may seem daunting, it serves as a powerful thought experiment designed to prompt a reevaluation of one's life. The thought of eternal recurrence forces individuals to consider whether they are living their lives in a way that they would be willing to repeat endlessly. Nietzsche challenges us to live authentically, to make choices that reflect our deepest values, and to embrace life in all its complexity. If every moment were to recur eternally, then every decision gains monumental significance, urging us to cultivate a life of integrity, purpose, and passion. Rather than viewing eternal recurrence as a curse, Nietzsche invites us to see it as an opportunity to affirm life. By embracing the eternal recurrence, one commits to living in a manner that celebrates every aspect of existence, embracing both the light and the shadow. This radical acceptance compels the individual to live fully and deliberately, ensuring that each moment contributes to the overall tapestry of a life truly worth living. In doing so, one aligns with the ultimate goal of becoming who you really are, an authentic being who fully owns every experience. The eternal recurrence also serves as a tool for transforming suffering. If one must endure the same hardships and challenges for eternity, then it becomes imperative to find meaning and value in every experience. Nietzsche's notion of eternal recurrence, therefore, becomes a call to transform adversity into a source of strength and insight. In accepting the totality of life, both its joys and its sorrows, individuals find the courage to overcome their limitations and, in turn, embrace the process of self-realization. Beyond good and evil. Central to Nietzsche's thought is his radical critique of traditional morality, which he sees as an impediment to authentic self-realization. In Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche argues that conventional moral values, rooted in religious dogma and societal norms, serve to constrain individuality and suppress the creative potential of the human spirit. Nietzsche contends that traditional moral systems are designed to enforce conformity, stifling the individual's capacity to question, innovate, and evolve. These moral frameworks often prioritize self-denial, guilt, and obedience, leading individuals away from their true nature. By adhering to these externally imposed values, one risks living a life that is not truly one's own, a life dictated by the expectations of the herd rather than the call of the individual spirit. To become who you really are, Nietzsche insists that one must embark on a process of reevaluation, a critical reassessment of the values that have been inherited from society, religion, and culture. This process of reevaluation involves questioning everything: the definitions of right and wrong, the nature of success, and the worth of societal norms. In rejecting the notion of absolute, external values, the individual is free to create their own moral framework, one that is aligned with their inner truth and unique potential. This self-determined set of values is not arbitrary. It is a reflection of one's deepest aspirations and a commitment to personal authenticity. The journey towards self-determined values requires immense courage and independence. It is an act of rebellion against the inertia of conventional thought, a challenge to break free from the chains of tradition and mediocrity. Nietzsche's vision demands that individuals take responsibility for their own lives, embracing the uncertainty and risks that come with forging a unique path. Only by rejecting the comfort of familiar norms can one truly begin to realize the possibility of becoming who they really are. The overcoming of nihilism. One of Nietzsche's most profound concerns was the rise of nihilism, the sense that life is devoid of inherent meaning or value. Nihilism, he believed, emerged from the collapse of traditional religious and moral certainties, leaving a void that threatened to plunge humanity into despair and inaction. Yet, for Nietzsche, nihilism was not an end in itself but a challenge, a call to create new meaning and values from the ruins of the old. In acknowledging the onset of nihilism, Nietzsche recognized the crisis of meaning that many individuals face in a modern, secular world. The erosion of traditional belief systems leaves a vacuum that can lead to feelings of despair, apathy, and existential disorientation. This void, however, is also fertile ground for innovation and transformation. By confronting the emptiness of nihilism head-on, one can begin to cultivate a new set of values that are rooted in individual creativity and self-realization. Nietzsche's solution to nihilism was not to succumb to despair but to harness its energy as a catalyst for transformation. The recognition of life's inherent meaninglessness can, paradoxically, be a powerful motivator for the creation of personal meaning. By accepting that life has no predetermined purpose, individuals are freed from the constraints of conventional expectations and are empowered to define their own destiny. In this sense, overcoming nihilism becomes a crucial step in the journey of becoming who you really are. Nietzsche viewed the collapse of outdated values as a necessary precursor to the emergence of new possibilities. This process of creative destruction is essential for personal growth and the evolution of culture. It involves a dismantling of the old paradigms, clearing the way for the birth of innovative ideas and authentic ways of living. Through this process, individuals learn to embrace uncertainty and to view every end as a new beginning, a cycle of continuous reinvention and self-overcoming. Practical steps toward becoming who you really are. While Nietzsche's writings are rich in philosophical depth, they also offer practical guidance for those seeking to live authentically. The process of becoming who you really are involves a series of deliberate choices and practices aimed at cultivating self-awareness, fostering creativity, and embracing change. Embrace self-reflection and critical inquiry. The first step in the journey toward authenticity is to engage in honest self-reflection. This involves questioning the values, beliefs, and assumptions that have been ingrained by society, family, and tradition. Journaling, meditation, and philosophical inquiry can serve as powerful tools for exploring your inner world and challenging the status quo. By examining your thoughts and actions critically, you can begin to discern which elements of your identity are truly your own and which have been imposed by external forces. Cultivate the will to power. Developing your own will to power means harnessing your inner strength to overcome obstacles and create your own destiny. This requires setting clear goals, taking decisive action, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. It involves rejecting passivity and complacency in favor of an active, engaged approach to life, one that is continually evolving and self-affirming. Create your own values. As you move away from conventional morality, the task of creating your own values becomes paramount. Reflect on what is truly important to you, what resonates with your deepest self, and commit to living by those principles. This may mean redefining concepts of success, love, and purpose in a way that is uniquely your own. By establishing a personal moral framework, you pave the way for a life that is rich in meaning and aligned with your authentic nature. Embrace suffering as a catalyst for growth. Instead of shunning suffering, recognize it as an inevitable and transformative part of life. When challenges arise, confront them head-on and seek the lessons embedded within. Through the process of enduring and overcoming hardships, you will develop resilience and a deeper understanding of your own capabilities. Remember Nietzsche's assertion that what does not kill you makes you stronger. In this way, suffering can become a powerful impetus for personal evolution. Foster creativity and self-expression. Authenticity flourishes when you allow your creative energies to flow freely. Engage in artistic or intellectual pursuits that speak to your soul, whether through writing, painting, music, or any other form of self-expression. Creative endeavors provide a vital outlet for the inner life and serve as a medium through which you can explore and communicate your unique vision of the world. Challenges and pitfalls on the path to authenticity. While Nietzsche's call to authenticity is liberating, it is not without its challenges. The path to becoming who you really are is fraught with obstacles, both internal and external, that can impede progress if not acknowledged and addressed. Resistance from within and without. Internal resistance may manifest as fear, doubt, or the lingering influence of ingrained beliefs and habits. The process of self-overcoming requires facing these internal saboteurs with courage and determination. Simultaneously, external resistance often comes from societal expectations, cultural norms, or even loved ones who may fear the disruption of established order. Navigating these challenges demands both inner resolve and the willingness to stand firm in your convictions. Isolation and loneliness. The journey toward authenticity can be isolating, as it often entails distancing oneself from the familiar and the conventional. Embracing a unique path may lead to feelings of loneliness or alienation, especially if those around you cling to traditional values and expectations. Building a supportive network of like-minded individuals, whether through communities, mentors, or creative collaborations, can help mitigate these feelings and provide the encouragement needed to persist. Balancing idealism with practicality. Nietzsche's vision of becoming who you really are is both an ideal and a practical pursuit. However, the tension between lofty ideals and everyday reality can be challenging to reconcile. The task is to translate profound philosophical insights into concrete actions that have a meaningful impact on your life. This requires a delicate balance between aspiration and pragmatism, between embracing the full intensity of your inner vision and engaging constructively with the world as it is. The burden of self-creation. Taking full responsibility for one's own identity and values can be both exhilarating and burdensome. The freedom to create oneself comes with the weight of constant self-examination and the realization that you are the ultimate arbiter of your destiny. This responsibility can be overwhelming, particularly when confronted with the uncertainties of life. Yet, it is precisely this challenge that makes the journey toward authenticity so transformative. Each obstacle overcome reinforces your capacity to shape your own existence. Becoming who you really are. Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to embark on the transformative journey of becoming who we really are. It is a call to break free from the constraints of conventional morality, to harness the will to power, and to embrace life's inherent uncertainties with courage and resilience. Through the process of self-overcoming, the cultivation of individuality, and the revaluation of inherited values, we are invited to forge a unique path towards self-realization and authenticity. This journey is not without its challenges. The path is marked by internal resistance, external pressures, and the burden of constant self-examination. Yet, it is precisely through these struggles that we find the opportunity for true growth. By embracing the lessons of suffering, the creative force of the will to power, and the transformative potential of self-determination, we can transcend the limitations of our past and step boldly into a future defined by our own vision. Ultimately, the journey toward authenticity is a courageous act of rebellion against the forces that seek to homogenize our identities. It is a journey that calls on us to be bold, to be vulnerable, and to trust in our own inner light. As we strive to become who we really are, we contribute to a more vibrant, diverse, and creative world, one where the full spectrum of human potential can flourish. In this endeavor, each step forward is a victory, each challenge overcome a testament to our resilience, and each moment of authentic living a triumph of the human spirit.